Welcome to the Plowman Table podcast, where we talk about everything happiness, home life, and hospitality. I'm so happy you're here. There's a seat at the table waiting just for you. Good morning. Welcome back to the Plowman Table podcast. I am so grateful for all of you who are here. I'm excited for the new subscribers we have. Hey, if you are enjoying this podcast, if you don't mind sharing, that is going to help me out so much. It's going to help my family out. We're trying to make our budget stretch. We are a family of 6 and growing. But welcome back. Today is episode 3, and I am celebrating something very special this week. I am celebrating 1 year of workout consistency. And I say consistency because I can't tell you that I've worked out every single day for a year. That would be a complete lie. But I have worked out consistently every week for an entire year. It started out small. It was like 1 day a week for the first month getting going. And then it picked up to like 2 days, and then 3, and then 4. And then after I got going, I started like craving learning how to do more. And it turned into a whole year of consistency. And that's saying something for me and my like mental focus, because I get bored real easily doing the same thing. But that is not what this podcast is all about today. Today, the podcast is about being a healthy homemaker. And I want to talk about that on the coattails of my 1 year of consistent workouts, because this is so important to me. It's near and dear to me as a mama and as a wife and a homemaker. And I want to share the things that I have learned about myself and about taking care of me, taking care of the person who cares about all the other things in the house, how it has helped me, because I hope that it helps you. I'm not a fitness guru. I could never claim that I do the things I'm going to tell you perfectly consistent every single day. Progress is so much more valuable to me than perfection and giving up because you can't reach perfection. So without further ado, let's talk about being a healthy homemaker. So being healthy, our culture makes us think healthy means you eat right, you work out right, you look right. You look the perfect model mold. And that's not healthy, y'all. Being physically healthy is important. Eating right is important. Not carrying around extra body weight or adding additional stress to our body as we grow and age. It's important to keep check on those things. But that isn't what makes you totally healthy. You could go to the gym every single day. You could do all of the important diets that are out there every day. You could be supermodel size. But if mentally and emotionally and spiritually you're dead inside, or you're so worked up, you're not healthy. Being healthy is like a well-rounded thing. So, okay, I feel like moms or homemakers, you can't just limit it to moms, because wives, even without children, you carry the burden of caring for the home and your spouse and the people in your life, even if they're not children in your home, your job, whatever it is that's on your plate, whatever task you have been given, it has an effect on your body. And in order to serve in those capacities well, we have to take care of the one serving. But as a mom and as a homemaker, that's where I'm going with this. I feel that I either wear one of two hats. I'm a chaos coordinator, and that's in my mind. If I were to pick a hat for that, I think I would pick like a Dr. Seuss style top hat, because it's a level of crazy involved. Or if I'm not the chaos coordinator, I am the captain of a tight ran ship. And my personality needs both of those hats actually to be worn at the same time. But I find myself wearing one hat longer than another. And when I wear one hat for too long, I start to struggle. Everything in life, in my opinion, has a semblance of balance. And taking care of me and doing what I need to be the best homemaker, it requires balance. I need to be able to roll with the punches and do the unexpected things. And I want to do them. I actually love a last minute play date. I prefer those better than one all planned out. I don't know what my problem is. I was talking to my sister about that, but like a play date that's on the calendar for like 2 weeks, it gives me so much stress and anxiety, and I will talk myself out of it. But you call me today when my plate is like really full, got a lot of stuff to do, and tell me you want to meet at the park. As long as I could, I'm so much more likely to do that than a scheduled one. I know it's wonky, but that chaos coordinator hat. I like wearing that hat to a degree. But when the chaos takes over my sleep schedule, me actually eating a decent meal that's good for me having some clarity of thought on what I need to do, me spending some time in my Bible in the morning before the children wake up. When the chaos imprints on all of those things and it wasn't invited to do so, I start to struggle real bad. So that's when that hat I'll toss it off and I'll put on my captain of a tight ship hat. And we're going to have a schedule and I'm going to be super rigid. And I need that sometimes. And I'll get in that mode. But when I put that cap on, and this is the capacity that I am going to serve everybody, we are going to be toeing the line for everything. You jump when I say jump. When I'm very militant about the schedule and the day, and life doesn't quite measure up to those standards, I become very frustrated, and I'll want to toss off that hat, and then I just feel stuck, and so I'll swing back over to the chaos coordinator. It's mentally taxing. So to take care of me, I know that I need to live within the balance of the both of those things. And so these are some things that I do to help me do that. One of the things that I have done since my husband and I got married is when I get up in the morning, I have to make my bed. My bed has got to be made, and it just sets me off on the right foot. And after that, then I can start my day. For about a year now, since I've really been doing the consistent workouts, I have had to push to get up at least 30 minutes, but really it's like an hour and a half before my kids wake up. And the reason being, it isn't because I have so much to do before they get up. It's because I feel rushed and busied all day long. In the morning, I want time to drink my coffee, open my eyes, and actually think for a second, take a deep breath, think about the tasks that are waiting me for the day. I want to spend time in my Bible with the Lord, and I want to work out. And if I don't get up in time to enjoy those things or work through those things, I have to rush through them. Or if I really don't get up in time, I have to cut some of them out. I'm a total grump butt because those are things that I need for me to start out on the right foot. Often, if I wake up late and I don't have time to get through all of that, my bed will also not be made very quickly because I jumped up in a rush. It's silly, but Mama's bed being made is a good indicator of how my brain's going to operate for at least the first half of the day. I don't know. Leave a comment about some of the things you have to do to set yourself up for a good day. But that's it. I need to wake up before the kids get up. And maybe an hour and a half is too early for you. That's okay. You don't have to do what I've grown to be able to do. I couldn't do that either when I first said, okay, I got to get some consistency in my life because I'm about to go insane. I couldn't do an hour and a half before the kids when I started this. I'm a homeschooling mom, for crying out loud. Homeschooling moms don't get up early. Not usually. That's one of the perks of homeschool. But I had to grow into that amount of time that I would be able to have in the morning. So if you can't, then 10 minutes early. 10 minutes, you go start the coffee pot, you make your bed, and you put some clothes on for the day. Or you at least quickly jot down on a piece of paper the things that are in your head that you know you've got to make sure you tend to. Just a little bit of time before things are asked of you for the day. That's what I'm getting at. It just sets you off. You're the leader. You're just a few steps ahead of everybody else. When you wake up at the same time as everybody else, it's just hard to lead. You're at that point just trying to like scoop everything up and keep it all tucked up underneath your arms. And you're still going to feel that way 10 minutes, an hour and a half ahead of schedule, but just try it. Give yourself some grace when you can't do it as early as you want, but just a little bit of time before everybody else. But okay, so the other side of that coin is in order for me to get up before everyone else, I have to make my sleep a priority in my life. And I have had so much mom guilt for a year, but especially like on a Friday night when there's no school the next day, or over the summer, we don't have to wake up early for anything. If the kids and Jacob want to hang out and finish a movie and I don't want to, sometimes I feel so bad, but I'm like, Mom is going to bed. I'm going to go lay in my bed. And when you're ready, you can wake me up and we will say prayers and I'll tuck you in. Or if I'm that asleep, you can give me a kiss before you go to your bed. But wake me up when you guys are, but I can't hang anymore. I've got to go lay down. I have accepted that that's okay. And when your kids are little, mine are getting old enough that I can do that. Like if you have a house full of toddlers, obviously you can't do that. And maybe if you have teenagers and you're waiting up late for them because they're coming home really close to the last minute of curfew, guilty, I did that a lot. You can't sleep either. There's a season for it. But if you are in a season where you can prioritize your sleep, you need to do it. And I would challenge you. It might not be a lot of extra sleep, but you can find a way to prioritize that no matter what season you're in. And that might look like when you go to bed, you don't scroll on your phone. You cut the lights out. You go to sleep, or you find something that helps you relax quickly rather than laying there in your thoughts all night. Maybe you need a better pillow because you can't get comfortable at night. I don't know, but prioritizing getting rest, it isn't selfish, and you shouldn't feel guilty about needing rest. God's word tells us He wants His child to rest. So find a way to prioritize that, because if you can, that's going to set you up for success in the morning when it's time to wake up and you want to do the things that you need to do for you to be successful during the day. All right. Well, I feel like I hit on that for a while, but starting out the day right, it lends itself to these other things that I do that help take care of me throughout the day. I am going to hit on working out for a second. So when I work out, I do not pay for a gym membership. I do not pay for a coach. I don't pay for like a YouTube subscription workout plan. I do follow along with some free workout programs on YouTube. And I did that like hardcore for a while because I needed to relearn some workout routines. But honestly, what I do most of the time now is I turn on some worship music that I love and has a good beat, and I will work out to that. And it is just different movements and stretches with my body at a pretty brisk pace, and I lift weights. Women, we need to practice lifting weights. We need to constantly be adding to our muscle mass. Our bodies, they're, as we age, it needs additional support in the muscle department. And I can tell you, I've been lifting weights for a year, and I am not a bodybuilder. I don't even remotely resemble a bodybuilder. So the lie that if you lift weights, you're going to turn into Macho Man, stop believing that. Sure, you can bulk up lifting weights if that's what you want to do, or if you don't know what you're doing. But there's so much free information out there from people who are fitness instructors. There's free stuff everywhere that will teach you how to lift and how to shape and tone your muscles and look and feel feminine and confident in it. And that is what I did for me. At first, I didn't know what I was doing. I was lifting all willy-nilly. And as I got consistent, not every day, but 1 time, 2 times, 3, 4 times a week, I grew a stronger interest in learning more how to help certain problem areas on my body. And I needed to do it for me. I couldn't go to the gym. I couldn't have a coach that was like this undue stress or pressure on me that some people receive as motivation. I don't. An accountability person or a coach I've paid or a gym membership I've paid for that I have to get up and drive across town to go use, that is not motivation to me. It is like this pressure that if I make a mistake, I feel like a complete and utter failure. And that is counterproductive to success in your body. That it just spikes cortisol levels, that stress. I needed to eliminate that. And for me, I had success working out at home, doing my own workout that I picked, choosing the area I wanted to focus on myself. I even went as far as telling my husband, do not ask me if I'm going to work out today. Don't ask me how my workout is. Like, even if you're trying to be nice, like, just let me tell you about it when I want to. Because if he started asking me, and he does watch me, I was going to feel like he was going to be let down if I skipped or I lost the consistency momentum. And I said, I don't want that. And I know you don't mean it that way, but that's how I receive it and I process it. So just don't ask me, and I'll work out if I want to work out. And he respected that, and he laughed at me because he's motivated differently than I am. But he understood that that's what I needed, and it worked. I have had so much more success for me in the workout department. That's strictly what I'm talking about. Doing what I needed to do to stay motivated without the pressure, without that added stress. It worked for me. So if you are struggling to be consistent in workouts, think really hard about what motivates you. Is it paying for a program and you've spent your hard-earned money on a program so you don't want to waste it and that motivates you? Is it having a coach that checks in on you or guides you through workouts and nutrition? Is that what you need? Is it just a buddy that does the workouts with you alongside you, goes to the gym? Or maybe you're like me. You don't want any of that. You are a lone ranger in this department of your life. It's okay. But if you find what works for you, not what everyone else says you need to do, what works for you with working out, I think you're going to have better success. And again, consistency doesn't mean every single day. It could mean every day if that's what you're after. But consistency for me getting started was I'm going to do more this week than I did last week, and I'm going to do it again next week, and I'm going to do it again next week, even if that was only one day. Consistency, one day this week, one day next week, one day the next week, that is consistent, and that is more than not doing anything at all. And then I was able to build on it. And that kind of blueprint of being consistent and sticking with something, I promise you, if I were to go get diagnosed, I would probably fit the bill for ADHD. Staying consistent is so hard for me. I will be so fired up about something at the beginning, and I am unstoppable getting started. But then I get bored so fast and I fizzle out. It's not even that like there was a challenge or a bump in the road. I just lose my focus and I fizzle out. And I needed to change my goal about working out to feel successful, because I understand I am not going to be mentally focused enough to set the goal of I'm going to work out every single day. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not right now. I'm getting better, but in today and what I can do today, I can't set that goal of every single day or like 6 days and only one rest day. I can't set that as a realistic goal for me. And if I don't set realistic goals, I'm going to give up, I'm going to fizzle out, and I'm not going to try. So I had to change what my expectation was, and that became consistency. Okay, so moving on from working out, I promise this is not just a fitness podcast. It is taking care of the homemaker, the one who takes care of everybody else. You also need to make sure when you're feeding the people that you have food in your house for you. Okay, so as a mama, it is so easy to buy convenience foods, especially over the summer or in the busy season. The fastest possible thing that feeds everybody. I am not going to lie, we have that stuff in our house. I cook a lot. That is something I do enjoy. That is a priority for me in my house, is to make as much from scratch food as I can, because I don't want all of the extra things. But we have busy seasons and we have busy days in every season. And sometimes you need a quick meal. And so I buy those things for the kids. But I have to make sure I have what I need. For me, I have to eat too. So for me, some of the things that I keep on hand, and I'll try to link it to you in the description box, but I have a really good organic plant-based protein powder that I use in the morning with some kefir. I have a protein shake almost every single day. If I have a slower day, instead of the protein shake, I will do like scrambled eggs, maybe some avocado toast. I will do something like that to change it up. I usually make pancakes one day a week because my kids love it, and I'm going to eat a pancake one day a week. But I make sure that I have food in this house for me, especially for breakfast. I also make sure I have snacks for me. And yes, this is going to sound real selfish, and it might cost you a little bit in your grocery budget, but the cost in dollars to me is worth the benefit I receive from doing it. I buy mama snacks. I will buy myself Poppy instead of a regular soda. I'll buy myself like some I can't even think of what it's called, but the Boom Chica popcorn rather than microwave popcorn. I will buy myself Aldi makes some. They're like these dynamite little coconut cookies that I can eat 6 of them, and they are like all natural organic ingredients, and 6 of them is less calories, less sugar, and better for me than like 2 Oreos. I have mama snacks. I can handle just Swiss cheese and almonds. Man, that stuff's my favorite. I make sure I have the easy things for me too. And at dinner, we don't really have too many picky eaters in our house. Thank goodness. If you do, man, I feel for you. That's just something I gotta work on some grace in that department, I guess. But we usually all can eat the same thing, and I make sure we have a protein, a vegetable, fruit or grain. But we get the nutritional boxes checked at mealtime when I am making meals, lunch and dinner. And I can usually always make sure there's something on the dinner plate that is mama's choice. That's really good for us. And the kids just they're really good about that. And my husband is too. But I'm talking about during the busybody times where it would be so easy to grab total junk out of the pantry. I'm going to grab the fastest possible thing, but to help myself remain successful in taking care of me and eating the things that refuel my body and help me to keep going throughout the day, I have to buy them with intention. And I'm encouraging you to do that. It is not selfish to have to buy stuff that is for you. It's not for anybody else to enjoy. It is for you. If they want to try it, then that's their chosen snack or whatever for breakfast. If they want to get on the smoothie kick or they want to try the protein shakes, well, if that's what you're buying for them, then they're going to have to stick with it at our house. Like, I can't buy a breakfast and they don't like it, and then I got to go buy more stuff. Like, they're going to have to deal with it. And if they don't want to, they're not sure, then they can have their typical choices that we do for them. I don't have to share mama's things. I know that's going to feel selfish, and it probably sounds selfish, but in my opinion, it's not. It is making your nutrition a priority. It's refueling you to keep going throughout the day. All right. And mentally and emotionally, this is a work in progress for me all the time. Women, we have weeks that we're solid in this department, and then we have weeks where we're not solid in the emotional and mental clarity. But I have found my sleep, my working out, and my nutrition, when those are in check, it lends itself to a mental and emotional stability. But something else that helps me emotionally and mentally recharge, take a deep breath, is prioritizing doing something at least once a week. I would love to say I do it every day, but at least once a week, I know that I have a time that I'm going to do something I enjoy. And I'm not talking about leaving the house. I don't usually go out with my girlfriends and do anything like that. That is not the person I am. I'm like in my grandma era, I guess. Like, I'm talking about I'm going to read my book from the library in quiet in my sun chair outside. Or I'm going to go garden and I'm going to plant me some flowers or harvest some flowers. Or I'm going to try out this recipe. Usually baking isn't it anymore because I bake on the side. I don't do that for my enjoyment, for my mental break, because it's so close to my work. It might be watercolor painting. I love watercolor painting, and I will watch, I'll link her channel. I watch Andrea Nelson on YouTube, and she is thebomb.com. And I made that hobby a priority. That's just for me. I bought me some nice brushes, some nice watercolor paints, and a little metal case for my paints, and like a velvet backed watercolor book. And I have this special little basket that's just for me. I don't share it with anybody else. And I will sit in my bed or on the porch or in my office, and I'll just paint for just a little bit. And if I put that as I'm going to do this week, it gives me something so exciting to look forward to, although it's teeny tiny. So if there's something you really enjoy, reading, taking a really luxurious bubble bath at home, going on a date with your husband, man, I always look forward to that. Watching a new movie, going for a walk by yourself, sewing, baking, something that brings you joy that you are going to put on the calendar. You're going to motivate yourself to, I'm getting to this place. I want to enjoy that. I'm going to allow myself to have this time to do what I like. It just refuels me for later. And it's not taking away from my family. Usually it's in the afternoons when they're watching a show that I get to do this, or when they're hanging out with dad later at night and I'm ready to go to bed, I might do this for a few minutes before I close my eyes. It's just something that brings me happiness. And I can't depend on anyone else. I'm not saying that people, you can't trust them, you can't ask for help. That's not what I mean. But you have to care enough to prioritize that for you. It's no one else's job to make sure that you get to do something you enjoy. And if I expect everyone else to make sure I have that time, I get frustrated because they don't, it's not that they don't care, but like, it's just not on their priority list, especially if it's not on mine and it's for me. So I have to be very intentional about that. And that just gives my mind and my emotions a minute to break away, to not think about what's bothering me, to take a deep breath. And then my mental and emotional stability also is helped so much by keeping my spiritual life in check. I am a believer in Jesus Christ, and spending time in His Word, it is the most important thing that I can do. It is what I have to do to serve my husband well, to serve my children well, and to serve the people that God has put in my path, to love and encourage, to serve them the way that He would have me serve. I have to spend time with Him. I have to find my joy, my love, my peace from Him. And spending a few minutes in His Word in the morning, praying, asking Him to order my steps throughout the day, asking Him to show me what I need to make important rather than what I feel is the most important. When I do that, I am able to be a better person. And I am able to have more emotional and mental clarity and peace. God is not separate from our physical and our mental and our emotional bodies. He's not only in the spiritual part. He made you. He's a creator. He made your brain, your emotions, your body. He's not separate from it. And so many times I treat my relationship with Him as if He is apart from those things. And He's not. And when I spend time with Him and I yield my body, my mind, my emotion, my will, everything over to letting Him be the one that refills me, letting Him be the one that focuses me, I just serve others the way I was intended to serve. Dependency on God, it's a must. The Bible does tell us to bear one another's burdens, but we cannot expect other people to fix our burdens, to fix our broken hearts, to be everything that we aren't. A human can't do that. God uses them, and He blesses us so greatly with those people in our lives. But our dependency and everything that we aren't and everything that we are, it all comes from Him. He's able to become big when we aren't, when we are weak. He, in our weaknesses, that's the best way for His strength to shine through if we let Him. So I leave you with that today. I hope that you find some time in your week to focus on taking care of you. It isn't selfish. I'm not talking about elaborate amounts of me time, as the culture tells you you're supposed to have. I am not talking about the luxurious idea of getting a hotel by yourself for the weekend. That sounds great, but you know what? I would be like miserably sick and bored. Like it sounds great, but as soon as I got there, I would want my people. That's just who I am. In the moment when I'm booking that trip, I might not think so, but I love being a wife. I love being a mama. And really and truly, although the dishes, the Legos, the laundry, the mopping, the sweeping, the meal prepping, the bath, the mopping up the floor, the taking the dog out, although that feels like a lot and it feels like overwhelm in the moment sometimes, that is my purpose and that is my calling as a homemaker. That is where I am meant to be in this phase of my life. And I truly love it. And if I want to serve in it well, I have to stop, I have to pause, and I have to make sure I have what I need to do it. Have a wonderful week, guys.